G'day guys, this is my post AT gear video review, or just list really. I'll try and keep it quick, might be a bit challenging though. Used the Cedar Summit pack liner, that was pretty handy. Also used it to blow up my Neo Air Extern air pad and use it as a laundry bag when I was in town. Yeah, it was a bit heavy, bit of a luxury, but I liked it, so I kept it. I started with a different pack, zPacks, and finished with this one, Hyperlight 4400 Southwest, I think it is. Good pack. These side pockets are really small. Not a big fan of the pockets. I don't think anyone who has a pack is. Also use the zPacks shoulder straps for a bit more storage or accessible stuff. zPacks duplex tent, awesome tent. I'd recommend having 2 to 4 of these bigger ones and 4 of those. In really bad weather, these aren't real good for the side ones. You need something a bit stronger, unless you find rocks, which rocks can actually be hard to find at times. I use 2 of these to pull out the ends, which is great for if you're taller. Lucky poles, great poles. These are carbon fiber ones. I had some issues, but Lucky support is amazing. So yeah, really good. I'd highly recommend them. Let's see, zPacks skin fiber mitts, awesome in winter when rain and snow. Yeah, if you're trying to hike using trekking poles and your hands are freezing, you're not going to have a very fun time and you potentially get frostbitten. Also, these glacial gloves, awesome early on. When your hands are still getting used to it. I didn't use them in the last third of the trail very much. Marmot rain jacket did the job. It would wet out, but pretty much all rain jackets do. This is one of the really light ones. I think it's the Essence maybe. Check out the light pack for all the details. Rain kilt, love that in winter. Didn't use it in the last third or half of the trail really. Some people use it just to lay it down on the ground. Incredibly light. Laying it on the ground to put stuff on can be sort of handy, but I didn't do it much. Patagonia down jacket, carried it the whole trail. It was good, didn't use it much towards the end. It was a tiny bit cold, I just chuck on my rain jacket on top of my top. Let's see, Dirty Girl Gaiters, they're awesome, highly recommend them. Good for just keeping the little stones and sticks and dirt out of your shoes so you don't have to stop. It's really annoying when you're hiking and everything's going well and you have to stop for a minute to pull off your shoes and dig everything out. Just for a little pebble. Zero sandals. The more I wear these, the more I like them. I think Crocs in some ways are better. These certainly look better. These are a tiny bit lighter than Crocs, but not much. I didn't wear camp shoes in camp pretty much at all. Wore them in town and in showers, so I didn't get any crazy fungal infections from other hikers. So yeah, I like camp shoes. I'd carry them. Most people would wear camp shoes around in camp there. So electronics, eventually locator beacon. I took this more for just family comfort, and early on I quite like carrying it. This is a one-use thing, so it does nothing until you press it, and then it basically sends out an emergency beacon. Yeah, obviously he didn't use it, but if I'd fallen off the trail or something had happened, and usually I hike alone, so while I hike alone I'll usually be with a group at night. It's sort of nice to know if you did fall off the trail or something happened, you could do that, like if you got a snake bite or something. Because a lot of the time you don't have coverage. Black Diamond Revolt flashlight. Having been able to recharge your headlamp sounds good in theory, but you virtually never use your headlamp, so just at night if you need to go to the toilet, you're almost always in bed by the time it's dark, or unless you're night hiking. And the batteries last so long anyway, I'd recommend not getting rechargeable. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Anchor 2-port charger. This isn't quick charge. I didn't have anything that's quick charge. So, and quick charge stuff's heavier. A couple of micro USB cables to charge my 10,000 milliamp Anchor battery to keep my phone, iPhone 7 Plus I used. I'm recording with it now. And 2 cables, iPhone cable and just a really tiny one as a backup. Didn't actually need it, but for the weight I wanted a backup for it. Beats Bluetooth headphones, love them. Great not having a cable when you're hiking. A couple of dry bags that I'd use for keeping my phone and other electronics dry. These do wet out, so you might want to use a couple of different bags or Ziploc maybe if you're keeping it where the rain's going to hit it. Garmin smartwatch. I liked this, but primarily knowing the time, the actual date and the day, because you're forever forgetting what the day is. And charge cable. Z-seat, the only bit of equipment I actually lost on the trail, and it was in the last week in the 100-mile wilderness, so I bought another one of them. Let's see, Cedar Summit. This is a dry bag, also backpack. So I'd use it for my miscellaneous stuff in my pack, all this stuff, and my electronics I put in there. Great for when I was in town so that I could have a backpack. Bit of a luxury, but yeah, I liked it. Used a full toothbrush the whole way. Didn't floss, I should have, but yeah. Nail clippers, tweezers, nail file. That probably be considered a bit of a luxury. Just a little bit of a sponge. I didn't actually use a sponge, but I stuck these in so they didn't break stuff. Sunscreen, useful early on. Later on in the trip, it's rare you need it. Once all the foliage and the trees are out. Earplugs, definitely get earplugs. You'll sleep a lot better, especially if you're in shelters. I didn't use them very much. Oh, awesome in hostels too. Tiny bit of line. I just carried. It was sort of handy a couple of times. Band-aids and stuff. You only really need to take a couple of band-aids or stuff to treat blisters if you get them. I didn't get any blisters, so not a big deal. Some ibuprofen, some carbon fiber repair tape, some more band-aids. Yeah, I didn't use virtually any ibuprofen or painkillers on the trip, but some people do. Neosporin, good stuff. Probably worth getting or getting when you need it. In winter I had some issues with really dry skin, so I used some of that. Probably carried that way longer than I needed to though. And some foot cream. Yeah. So it's just a bag I'd use to keep most of this strung together. Head net, I used it twice. Yeah. I'd recommend not carrying one. Buy one if you think you need it down the track. Toilet paper, take as much as you need. Be aware your system might get a bit weird a couple of times. You may carry a little bit extra. Some Dr. Bronner soap in a little container. Barely use that. Use it like 2 or 3 times. Hand trowel, I used that 6 times. In hindsight, probably wouldn't have taken it. I don't just use privies pretty much. Definitely use hand sanitizer after going to the toilet. Chopstick, I used that a lot early on, didn't really use it after. Bandana, take at least one, awesome. Use it to blow my nose and general rag, it was very handy. Let's see, food bag, zPacks one, actually had 2. Sometimes for overflow food or chucking other things in there. Ziplocs, I used freezer bag cooking, so always was carrying plenty of them. The bear bag kit, line and stuff. Note that the carabiners that zPacks sell are pretty rubbish. I replaced pretty much all of them. This is Opinel number 8. I barely use this knife. Probably didn't need to carry it, but yeah. Water system, created a gravity system with 2 Avenue bags with this in the middle with a blue attachment. Worked awesomely. It's a little bit slow if you just wanted to quickly stop and get some water, but I'd usually use that as an excuse to have a break. I had a Sawyer bag I cut the top off to use as a scoop. I lost that somewhere, so I replaced the Avenue bottle bag at one point, so I use this as a scoop. A little bit heavy for a scoop, but it allowed me to get almost an extra 1.5 litres. I was going down to get water because 2 litres wasn't always enough. Snow Peak 700 pot, awesome size. Pretty much can you can do anything you want to. This is a Soto Windmaster. Check my lighter pack link for details. Great little stove. Kept it in a dry bag. This is a titanium pot lid you can buy from a third party. Yeah, it's actually really sharp and cut holes in everything. Wouldn't recommend it. So, Snow Peak spoon, folding spoon, love that. The Big Sky insulator for freeze bag cooking. Sort of useful early on, but once it warmed up, didn't use it, and I stopped cooking things that needed to rehydrate for a long time, so I could have sent that home, but I didn't. So, a pillow, loved having a pillow. What was it, Xped one, the light version. Used a buff over it so I could wash the buff so it didn't get too bad. Enlightened equipment, Revelation 220 Fahrenheit quilt is in there. This is the bag it came in. The drawstring broke on it, so I ended up buying this bag. I think it's a 4 litre dry bag to put it in. Probably compresses it a little bit too much, but love the quilt. I stopped using the straps once it warmed up, but the straps were really great for when it's cold. Let's see, clothing. Shoes, depending on your feet. I use Solomon's. Yeah, you can't really recommend anything, it's what works for you. I know people who went through probably 4 different types of shoes the whole trip trying to work that out. So these are icebreaker shorts, love these, use them as town shorts only, but they would be great for hiking in as well. Food bag, just Cuban fiber one, just to keep all the clothing together. These are knee sleeve things, compression sleeves. My knees gave me grief on the way down mountains, or for I was jogging and stuff. Yeah, they seem to help. Copper fit ones, who knows. I always felt better with them on, so I kept wearing them. Cedar Summit silk rectangle liner, love that. It's great to be able to wash that every time I went to town. Hat, outdoor research with the bit that you could put on. Great during winter when there was no foliage, keep your neck protected. And great once all the bugs came, because it would stop them going on your neck and ears, and yeah, it was really good for that. Underwear, so I started with Ex Officio 7-inch long ones for chafing. They're awesome. If you have chafing, get some Ex Officio. I actually went down a size, so I had to buy all new stuff. So I had that for town. Usually I'd sleep in this if my hiking boxes were damp from sweat or rain. I love Ex Officio, love icebreaker. I'd recommend all of it. Wore long sleeves the whole trip. Probably one of the few people who did. This is to do with just staying out of the sun and also for ticks. So I treat it with permethrin, icebreaker, cool sphere top, so that would keep me cool. That cool sphere material that I have in it, Cool Max, whatever it is. I had 2 icebreaker t-shirts, Cool Max as well, Cool Sphere. That'd be my town tops. Loved having 2. Well, pretty much, man, I always had one clean. These are Ex Officio Bugs Away summer clothing, air vents along the edge. Always get pants or shorts that have a belt or a drawstring because you lose weight. It's a smart wool long sleeve top, 250 weight. I wore this to sleep in or around camp as well. Little beanie. Yeah, Americans will call that something different. I can't remember what you guys call it. For your head. This is a really light one. Only use it early on in winter. I should have sent that home. Let's see. Travel towel. I used it twice. You don't need it these days. This is a face washer hand towel. I use that in showers. If they didn't provide one, use it to dry out condensation in my tent, or any water on the bottom. It's microfiber, so you could wring it out and just use it straight again. Great. Socks. A lot of people you do the combo. Darn tough socks with the Injinji liner. Highly recommend doing this, especially if you've ever had any issues with blisters. You can get merino or cotton ones with Cool Max stuff or Cool Sphere, whatever they call it. I'd probably recommend the cotton versions, the white ones with the darn toughs. These ones seem to cause issues in the back of my feet for some reason. Yeah, so use that for more than 2/3 of the trail. Towards the end, one of the other guys I was hiking with was using just these Injinji, I think they're trail running socks. They're a bit thicker, so I use them by themselves. Apparently a lot of people on the PCT do that because it's warmer, especially in the desert section. And let's see, and a couple of notes here of other things. Oh yeah, so I had a smart wool leggings. I used them up until Damascus, but it was just too warm to wear them after that. Started with a mug, plastic one that was 40 grams or just over an ounce. It was too cold early on. I started 5th of March to really mess around with coffee in the morning. Usually just needed to start moving just to stay warm. And at that point I got used to not having coffee, so I didn't bother getting out the cook set in the morning. If you're making hot breakfast and stuff, then it can be handy having an extra second mug. A lot of people had 2 mugs, even at the end. Let's see, carried a mirror, didn't use it, sent it home. Sunglasses I carried early on, they were great. But once the foliage in the trees started, you just never needed your sunglasses at that point. So take some probably just disposable ones that you can use at the beginning and then leave somewhere. Carried a lighter but didn't use it, so because my stove has an igniter on it and it actually survived the whole way. Carried wet wipes, a few wet wipes, not too many. Had a second buff, which was handy as a balaclava during winter. Some people got frostbitten, so like ears and nose and stuff. So, but it really depends when you start if that's useful. I could have used the one I used with my pillow if needed. Those shorts are the Cool Light Strike 7-inch shorts, and that's pretty much it. Can't remember if I said, but the hike took me 5 months and 5 days, so finished early August. So I didn't really have too many issues with needing cold weather gear at the end, but I carried, this is pretty much what I finished with, so I had most of my winter gear anyway. I stayed with a 20 degree Fahrenheit quilt the whole way. Loved it. Would have liked to have had a 40 Fahrenheit one as well to swap out to and maybe back to the other one, but being from Australia, the logistics were a bit hard. I think that's it. Thanks for watching.